Marcus, welcome.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
did you
you.
make it in okay, or?
Yeah, just not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Just feeling under the weather.
Under the weather. Yeah. I hope my son would hurry up. It's taking so long.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
him and his. Oh my god. Just wait until he comes in. But anyways, I just want to come and ask for some help. That's my main reason to be here. I need some help. Me and my son is just acting awkward. There he is.
hi, welcome.
Hello.
I'm
Hi.
Miss Cortez. I'm
My
social
name-
worker here.
My name is Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Sorry I was late.
You can have a seat.
You're out there doing your thing again, huh?
Okay, so is there anybody else that
Whatever,
we're
Dad.
expecting?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Will there be anybody else that we're going to be expecting?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, welcome. I'm glad you can make it. Again, my name is Florence, and my job here at Current Health Behavioral Systems is to provide resources and to assist with any marital or family issues. Do we have any questions as we go forward?
Is this covered by my insurance?
Well, we can go through the logistics in the end. But if you'd like to go forward, I do like to run through your limitations on your confidentiality.
Okay.
Pretty much everything that we share in this room does not reach anyone, such as my supervisor that's going to be overseeing this video. In case that you do decide to share something that might incriminate yourself, that you're harming yourself, others, or plan to do that, or you know that someone is getting harmed, I will need to inform proper authorities. And so with that said, anything legal I do have to submit if I am subpoenaed by court. If you have any questions with that, we can go forward.
We can go forward.
Okay, great. So who would like to go first? Why are we here?
We have a problem. We've been having a hard time coping with my wife. I've been married to her for 20 years. She has been diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago. We lost her We lost her just recently. You can say about a year ago. During her time of treatment, I felt helpless. Very, very helpless. I was trying to find someone to lean on, like my son, but he's out here running amok. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what we can do to make this issue a lot better. But since I felt helpless, no one was here to help me, I turned to the bottle. I've been in construction for a good 15 years,
Okay.
and I've worked my butt off there. I just lost my job. I lost my wife. I lost my family. I lost my son. I mean, what else can I? What else can I do? I don't want to give up. I want to continue. That's why we're here. We want to see if you can point us in the right direction, how to fix our problems. I feel like you are very professional. You have dealt with a lot of other people's problems. I was hoping that you can help us out with this.
Okay, well, it certainly seems you have a lot of hurt.
I do have a lot of hurt, especially my back, my heart, my soul, everything.
Right. And yet, through all of this pain that you're going through, you somehow seem to still have that hope
Yes, I do.
that you
I
continue to hold on to,
Yeah, I do.
which is great. Not very many people would have that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just unfortunate that you turned to alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the closest thing. I mean, I'm not really a drug addict. I'm not really big into drugs. I was a social drinker at first, and then now I'm just turned 100% alcoholic. I drink it in the morning, I drink it in the afternoon, drink it in the night. I mean, just that damn bottle.
Okay. Well, you mentioned your son.
Mm-hmm.
that you say you lost your son. Well, he's apparently
physically he's here, but mentally he's not here with me. You know, he is here with us right now, but to me it feels like he's not here to help cope with the loss. We're still in disbelief, you know, because my wife is not here, his mom's not here anymore. I mean, we're trying to find a way to cope with our grief, you know, instead of turning the easy way and numbing yourself, you know. I mean, we're trying to find the most logical way to do it, you know.
So you say we, so you agree that
I agree.
your son needs
Yes, he does need a lot of help.
some type of
Lately,
counseling.
he's been stealing money from me. I mean, he's been going through all my stuff. Just like the other day, I caught him with a gun. I mean, what are you trying to do? He won't talk to me. He won't answer. I was hoping that I would bring him here so he can talk to you or let him open up. You know?
Well, I would sure hope to find the help that you guys are in desperate need for. But first, just want to investigate and try to explore what we can work with. Bernard, what do you say about being here?
Bernard's his middle name. I'm sorry.
Michael. Oh, sorry
Yeah.
about that, Michael. How would you say being here? What does it mean to be here in the session with your dad?
Here, session with my dad. Yeah, there's a brick wall just separating between me and my dad, and him just on that bottle makes me feel like I have to protect myself because he lashes out at me for no apparent reason. Like,
But you deserve it.
Just
You
me coming home late.
You deserve it.
I don't deserve it.
There is no reason for a 15-year-old to come home that late. 2 o'clock on the school night. He smells like marijuana.
Well, it says here he's 23.
Oh, dang. I must be really lost.
Okay, well, that's
Well,
okay.
and you can blame that on the bottle.
Yeah. Well, hey. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry. Okay, go ahead and continue.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really mind the fact that we forget things at times. I guess that would be normal, especially if you're going through some grief. Michael, how are you coping with the loss of your mom a year ago?
A year ago, since my dad went towards the bottle and basically lost connection with him, he probably thinks I'm doing like other things out there, and especially me not being home and stuff like that. And I'll admit it. I'll come out with it. I've been
How
doing
come
a
you
little
don't
bit.
come out it with me at home personally? Instead, we got to come over here to some lady and express how we feel. Instead, we could just do it at home.
I can't do it at home because then what happens when I come home? I see empty beer cans, empty bottles.
Yeah, but the empty beer cans don't hurt you.
It doesn't hurt me, but then again, you lashing out at me, it does.
But
See, at least her being here, I feel kind of safe. I can let you know, saying, hey, I've been doing marijuana. I have.
Well, aside from what we're using to cope with, I do have to say that I'm going to give everybody a chance to talk. If we can try to set boundaries in this room so that we can get a clearer picture, what is it that we want to work on? I understand that you are having this miscommunication, or the fact that he lashes out on you has been a problem
Yes.
for you guys lately.
Yes, it has.
And when you say you come home, is he like is he himself
under
or?
influence?
He is not himself. He is not at all. Because when my mom was still alive,
How do you even know that? You're never around. You're never even there to even see when I'm normal or when I'm drunk.
you never asked me how I'm feeling or what am I doing.
I do ask you sometimes.
No, you don't.
But you
Because
just
then why
go
you
straight to
just
your-
turn?
See,
You
this
turn
is
to the
this is
bottom.
why we have a hard time.
Well, let me ask you this: how were you guys before when Mom was healthy and vibrant and everybody was talking?
Oh,
How
man.
was it
We
before?
were a very, very perfect family. I can't say perfect. I could just say good enough.
You can just say that there was at least communication.
There was.
So So it was functional.
I think his mother was the one that was there keeping us together, keeping us sane.
Okay.
You know. But ever since we lost her, we just don't have that middleman anymore. We don't have that middle person anymore to keep us in check.
That's a big transition.
Yeah.
To go through.
Mm-hmm.
And it changes the whole structure of the
It
family. And I can see how frustrating
Mm-hmm.
and how hurtful it could be sometimes, especially that you guys are going through this grieving process. How else have you guys? Well, I know that you said that you have turned to drinking.
Mm-hmm.
You turned to your friends.
My friends and marijuana. Yes.
And marijuana. And is there anything else that you use other than marijuana?
No, that's it. Just
You ain't got to lie. I seen that crack pipe.
no, that is not mine. That is not mine.
You see that?
I'm coming out right now. I'm being truthful about it. It's not mine. It's my friends, but hey, that's not mine. I'll tell you the truth, Dad. 100%. I'm only smoking marijuana, nothing else. And I bet you don't even know that I've been going to school.
You've been going to school.
I've been going to school. Why do you think I've been coming home late? Yeah.
So it's first year of college?
Yes.
Okay.
When Mom was here, she was the person that I can tell everything to. Like what you said, she was the person that just kept us together. But now that Mom's not here, it's kind of hard to open up to you when the fact that, I see empty bottles, cans, and stuff like that. Hey, it probably is my fault that, that we probably lost this connection. But, me doing my own thing, just, me going to school and stuff like that, it's stressful. And then obviously thinking about Mom too, how we lost her. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm a college student. It's like I got a lot on my plate. And I just got a lot on my mind. And it's just hard to explain it to you.
What can we do?
It certainly sounds that you have a lot on your plate as well in your life that's going on with school and then, having to come home and, face your dad in his state of mind. Dad, how do you feel about this?
I'm in shock that he's actually in school. I never knew that. I was so busy, to myself, trying to fix myself instead of trying to fix us. I just don't know. I'm speechless right now.
So tell me who. I know that you're speechless and maybe even surprised. Maybe it's helpful to know these things, to find out what your son is doing these days. Can you tell me a little bit more about the family? I mean, I understand it's you two. Is there anyone else at the home, or?
No, but I do want to get a pet. Most people want like a pet cat or a pet dog.
Well, I'm glad you guys certainly feel it's funny. It's something you guys can actually.
Really? A pet cat?
A pet cat.
Out of what? Out of everything else?
Pet cat. That's one. Furball. I was thinking, because like they said that dogs are a man's best friend, and you can tell your dog all these problems, but I feel like I can't get a dog.
Well, okay, so other than wanting a pet, is there anyone else in the home that visits you guys?
No one else in the home.
Is there family members that has been supporting you guys lately through your
all
loss?
My family's all in California, but we decided to pick up and go because the construction at that time was way better here in Texas.
Okay. So before construction, what did you used to do?
That's all I knew was construction. I guess I got into construction because I was one of those handymans.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working there for a good 20 years.
Okay. And how long have you been married to your wife?
20 years, ever since I met her.
Oh, wow.
And she pushed me to become, somebody. Construction.
I see. And Bernard, how long have you been going to college?
I've been going to college for a year. Something that that you didn't know was that before Mom passed away, she said to make something out of myself, like what Mom was telling you, or from what I hear from now, that Mom pushed you.
Pushed me to better myself. Instead of becoming a handyman, she said, "Why don't you're good with your hands, you're good with your mind. Why don't you be a construction worker?" And I said, "All right." So after, as soon as we got married, I became a construction worker. I dropped the handyman deal and went on with construction. But when she was sick, I hurt my back. I mean, I guess that's what else that led to my drinking. That's what I feel like it's happening right now. Because now that we're talking about it, I'm finally realizing what happened. You know, I guess because my wife was sick, she had cancer, and then I hurt my back. I lost my job. You know, I mean, I fell into a great depression.
So since your wife had the start of the point when she found out she had
That
cancer,
was 5 years ago.
you injured your back.
I injured my back.
Was that
I injured my back because my
soon
mind.
after, or
That was during her cancer treatment.
okay?
You know, I mean, my mind wasn't in the right state. Just knowing the fact that the woman that you fell in love with in high school, you know, is dying, and you're over here apart from her instead of you being close to her, it kind of messed me up a little bit. So my mind wasn't there. My safety stuff wasn't there anymore. I just threw it all out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be Superman and try to pick up this beam, try to lift it up by myself instead of having a group of two.
Right.
I try to do it by myself because I try to express my anger while I was at work. I guess that was my way to express the way I was feeling mad.
So you have this anger thing
I
that
do have it
triggers you.
because I hate the world right now. I lost my wife, I lost my son, I lost my job.
Well, let's bring it back to present. When you come home, Michael, and you find Dad, what usually happens when you come home late?
Usually happens, he questions me, you know, asking me what am I doing and stuff like that.
It's not what am I doing, it's what the F am I doing? Well, what the F you are doing. That's how I was.
See, and this is the reason why I can't really open up to him.
I understand.
Like I said, when Mama's here, I would be able to tell her everything.
It's because he doesn't even cook. He don't do nothing at the house. Don't do nothing. All them roaches in the kitchen. Just munching.
So I'm assuming Mom would be the one, the housekeeper,
Mm.
the cleaning and the cooking, and wow, that's a big transition to do. How are you guys getting by? I mean,
We're getting by because I have disability, and then I got life insurance from my wife because she passed away. Because she had a really good job before she passed away.
what did she?
She was working for the county
Oh, okay. As
accountant.
oh, nice. Okay. So like, who does the house cleaning though? Who does the
I
laundry?
do sometimes when I'm not drinking or when I don't have money to go buy me some beer. Stay home, try to keep myself busy.
Are you taking medication?
Yes,
Or-
I'm taking OxyContin
For your back pain?
for everything. I've been buying it off the street.
It says here you injured your back
Mhm.
a year ago.
Yes,
So
and I'm still taking them right now
while you drink,
while I drink.
what is it that you drink?
I drink Bud Light,
Okay, and what size?
a 42 ounce. One of those big boys, those big bottles.
Okay, how many bottles do you drink?
On an average day, maybe about 6. But when I'm around my friends, I like to buy 30 packs because those are my favorites.
Well, you have friends you go out with.
Not anymore. I used to. Not anymore.
How long ago was that?
You can say about a year ago,
Okay.
1 year.
So you stay at home. You
I
don't
stay
drink
at home now.
socially.
Yeah.
You drink alone.
I can't afford it anymore.
Okay.
So
So what you get out of drinking is you
numbs everything.
you find the comfort in that
I feel the comfort. It brings me to a place.
intoxication feeling.
Yes, it brings me to a place where stress free, worry free, nothing. Don't worry about nothing until the next morning.
So obviously, there's been some kind of way that you guys found comfort with the loss of your wife and the loss of your mom. It's obvious that you guys have turned to ways that you guys can actually just cope. You find comfort in your friends, and you spoke socially. Do you smoke alone or with your friends?
It's kind of like a mixture, 50-50, you know, especially like after school, knowing the fact that I have to, you know, come home and stuff like that,
Right.
and just kind of just like, before I even go to the house, you know, just a couple puffs just to like ease down and
Do you smoke at home or?
kind of close to home, but, you know, I mean, not particularly at home, but, you know, close by.
Okay. And Dad, you say that you found comfort in drinking. What is it that we could do that we could work on today? Maybe we can find some common ground as to what we can all agree on. That we can probably, that's feasible to work on.
I think the first step is to get rid of the alcohol. That's
Okay.
my first step.
So you agree
I
that
wanna get
you
rid
do
of
have a problem?
Mhm.
Okay.
I do have a problem. He also has a problem.
I do, and I admit that. I admit that I do. And it's after talking to you, hey, maybe me and my dad can, take baby steps, and hopefully, the connection will be there again.
Well, I'm thinking with you. You say that you used to have your mom to turn to,
Yes.
because you can express what's going on with your life, your everyday things that happens in your life. But of course, she's not able to do that. She's no longer here. If Dad would take her place, how would that be for you? Would that be a little bit, let's just say, functional for you?
I would say it would be a little different in the beginning, but the more that we basically work on ourselves, I think it would be stronger. Like, I think I would be able to open up to him, and maybe we can do stuff. So then I can not turn to marijuana or whatsoever. Maybe I could just spend time with my dad.
Okay.
Maybe go fishing or something like that.
That sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
Dad, what do you say? You say that you want to work on maybe less alcohol and less try to wean yourself off the OxyContin.
I can't wean myself. I need help. So.
Do you still feel you need the painkillers for that, or?
I just feel like I just threw it in to make sure. Because I see a lot of people mixing alcohol and numbing everything.
Well, it's obvious the doctor prescribed you those pills that he feels you still need it. So, would you consider maybe not taking the drink? I mean,
I could consider that.
And not mixing it with, your pain pills?
I can do that.
So once we get to decrease your intake, your alcohol intake, do you think you can work on maybe talking with your son and maybe come to an understanding that
if he's willing to work it, then I'll do this.
All I can say, I'm willing to meet you halfway.
Okay.
If you can meet me halfway, then like what I said, we can take baby steps. Nothing wrong with baby steps. I'm not saying I'm gonna take a giant leap, but it'll be a start.
So yeah, you're right. Those baby steps does make a difference. They add up. And again, what we work on, this is our first initial visit. I can introduce you to what we have, what the problem is, what you guys think is the problem, and then I can probably suggest what is probably workable. Obviously, you mentioned the drinking. That's something that you can first start working on. You say communication with your dad is very important to you. What is it that can be an ideal day that you guys can function together? Where, what would a day be like once that's all clear? I guess once we improve or decrease your drinking and then increase the communication.
Well, because then I go to school basically, morning to lunch. Maybe maybe me and my dad can cook or something like that. You know what I mean? And then maybe spend time at the table during dinner, and I can ask him, "Oh, how was your day?" Stuff like that, and
it's that interaction, right?
Hopefully, he can ask me how was my day, and and then, like I said, baby steps, and then eventually later on, I'll open up to him and be like, "Oh, I had a hard test, blah blah blah, this and that," and stuff like that. But as of right now, I think it's just more like we just need to figure out what's best for both of us, and that we can basically just make our schedules work and spend some time with each other.
Dad, what do you say about that?
If he's with it, then I'm with it.
Okay. Okay, well, it's obvious that we got to a clear understanding of what we feel that needs to be worked on. You say you want to work on your drinking. I'd like to see you next week. Have you guys? I need to ask you guys. Have you guys taken any counseling?
Nope.
Briefing?
You're the very first person we ran to.
Would you say that's something you guys also might want to work on? The grieving process.
Sure.
I would say it's
whatever's gonna help them.
I would say it could be a possibility. I would say we'll probably try to work it out, and then if anything, if it doesn't go the way how we have it planned right now, like meeting 50-50, then I would say give it a try.
Okay, great. What do you say about that?
I'm good with it.
Okay. So
Can I bring my cat?
did you say you were gonna buy a cat or?
We have to buy the cat first. So
Well, hopefully we can get all of this improved. Get this communication going, but first, of course, Dad needs to work on himself, right?
and I admit to, I gotta work on myself. So, and I mean, it's just not you. It's me too. I gotta work on myself. So.
Okay, so now just some questions I'd like to ask and make sure. Is there any legal history? Any,
Well, what do you mean?
subpoenas, DUIs, traffic courts, or anything like that? Any histories with that?
No, thank God I haven't got one of those.
Well, that's certainly fortunate for you, especially that you're drinking and
It's because when I drink, I don't like to go out. I like to stay home to myself. I just like to get flat out, just black out. That's what I like to do.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we kind of broke ground on what the problem is, what you guys feel the problem is, and what you guys need to work on. How was it like when you were growing up? When you had your parents as a child, what was valuable? What did they teach you that was of value?
Taught me how to be a man, take an ass whooping, learn how to feed the dogs, like grown up stuff.
Right. So you were the financial provider.
Yeah.
Okay. And that means a lot to you. Is that something that Dad kind of has the same for you? Does it sound the same, what he was taught with?
Yeah, when my mom was here, I did see, all those qualities in my dad. And the way how my mom used to tell me, hey, your dad's hardworking, you should be the same way.
Right.
Now that, he turned to the bottle and stuff like that, it makes me question it. But, I know deep down, my dad's a really good guy, but the way how he just, he drinks and all that other stuff makes me question it. But I know deep down inside, he's a hardworking dad. He's, he provides for his family. And that's the one thing that I will always remember. That's why when Mom passed away, she told me, continue going to school and, push forward. And that's the one thing I will never forget. And so.
Well, I think that's great that you find this resilience, even the loss of your mom, and you're still going forward. And not very many people can do that. Going to school, it takes a lot of energy and effort, I think. And on your behalf, I think that's great. So what would you guys say returning back? Before we end our session, I would like to maybe introduce a way where you guys can take baby steps, right? And maybe, Dad, if you can come in the following week before that, but before we all come back, say a week and 1 day after I work with you, Dad, what would you, can we work to say, take baby steps in communicating with hi and bye when you guys run into each other in the house, or maybe, like little comments to each other that's positive. And Dad, hopefully we can decrease your intake of the alcohol if you say that's triggering your anger, temper. Maybe controlling that would be the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can do that too.
Okay, great. So if there's any questions, again, this is going to take work. It's not going to take overnight to do or see any improvements. I can guarantee you that if we put the effort and our minds to it, we can probably see a difference in the next maybe 6 months. I don't want to give it a time frame, but I can say it won't take overnight. So with that said, thank you for coming in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Can I bring my cat?
Yes, you can certainly bring your cat.
We still need to buy the cat first, Dad.
Okay.
Remember, we still need to get the cat. I'm gonna bring